Oh hi. Bahamas, the state on the islands of the same name to the north from the Caribbean Sea and Cuba, to the southeast from the peninsula Florida. The archipelago includes about 700 islands. From them only 30 are manned, and 2,000 coral reefs. The origin of the name is definitely not established. There are two main hypotheses in this respect. It agrees one of them, the name comes from a phrase on a local dialect of Tono Baja Massachusetts. The big top average earth. According to other hypotheses, the name arose from the Spanish combination of Baja Mar, small water / the small sea or outflow, reflecting shallow water in this area. Also the point of view expressed that this name can come from a word on a local dialect of Guanacani, which sense is definitely not established. On the Bahamas Lucayana. From here the name Lucayski Islands. A branch of the tribe of Arawaks who arrived here approximately in the 9th century are considered as the first settlers. Islands were opened by Europeans in 1492 Christopher Columbus. One of islands of the archipelago, the island Watlinga, San Salvador. The first Earth of the New World opened on October 12, 1492. 3 years later the first Spanish colonists located on the archipelago. Spaniards took out locals to Hispaniola, Haiti, as slaves, and in 25 years the Indian population was almost liquidated and Spaniards left the settlement. Even the whole century of the island remained low populated and unclaimed until the King of England Charles I transferred them to the Attorney General. In 1650 there arrived few English immigrants here from Bermuda, which created settlements on the island of Eleuthera. Then on the Bahamas pirates began to be proved, having created on several islands of the archipelago the bases for rest and repair of the ships. Pirates were expelled from the Bahamas by British in 1718. The Bahamas became the British colony in 1718, but remained sparsely populated until here at the end of the 18th century. There did arrive about 8,000 loyalists sent on islands together with the slaves from the USA, which declared independence from New York, Florida and Northern and South Carolina. After the American War of Independence, the English loyalists began to bring thousands of people on islands and in 3 years many times over increased the population. Besides, they promoted emergence on islands of slaves and cotton created the further future of islands. Here plantations on the American sample, but as the soil was not so good, were constructed. The majority of plantations ceased to exist in the first years. In 1781 islands were occupied by Spain, in 1783 are returned to Great Britain. When in Great Britain in 1807 the slave trade was forbidden, the Royal Fleet began to intercept slaveholding vessels and to release slaves on the Bahamas. Many loyalists left the Bahamas after slavery cancellation, often leaving the lands to the former slaves, who began to lead poor existence without the owners, were engaged generally in fishing and agriculture. Though equality and the political rights were conditional, the power on islands belonged to white minority. In the 19th century in agrarian economy there was a smuggling share. Also importance for the future of islands was gained that in the USA the rich people ready to spend money for rest in tropical paradise appeared. By the end of the 19th century Florida became the tourist region, and the Bahamas gained small additional income. In 1920, money rushed to the country the river. After acceptance in the USA of prohibition in Nassau, smugglers became more active. The Bahamas were the ideal platform for illegal supply of the USA with alcohol, and soon Nassau became a huge warehouse of rum. The city invested huge money in construction, a large number of hotels appeared. Cancellation of prohibition in the USA in 1933 led the Bahamas to the Great Depression. As well as in the USA, World War II designated the end of economic downturn. On September 2, 1940, the USA under the contract, destroyers in exchange for bases, rented the earth on the island of Exuma for a location of the naval base for 99 years. During war, very many American military came to islands for rest that significantly improved the economy of the Bahamas. After war, rich Americans began to come to the islands for the sake of rest, encouraged by the governor and his wife, the Duke and the Duchess Windsor. The Duke and the Duchess made a big contribution to tourism development, as considered that it is a great way to pull out the Bahamas from post-war ruin, and after the Cuban Revolution in 1959, islands fell into an advantageous position for the reason that many Western travelers were forced to refuse resorts in Cuba. In Nassau, the American base of the Air Force extended to accept the international flights, the port was updated, an active advertising campaign began. Rights and welfare provoked development of party policy and aggravation of ethnic tensions as the white elite gained huge income from tourism while the black majority and remained below the poverty line. In 1964, according to the new constitution, internal self-government. Roland Simonet became the first Prime Minister of the Bahamas. Since July 10, 1973, independence was provided to islands. Lyndon Pindling became the first Prime Minister of the independent state. The British monarch remains the head of state still. The Progressive Liberal Party, PLP, supported by the black population, came to the power in 1967 and put an end to domination of white. The country took independence findings away. On July 10, 1973, the Bahamas became the independent state as a part of the British Commonwealth. Attempts of reforms of PLP led to depreciation of real estate and the termination of economic growth. Party leaders wallowed in corruption, some of them were involved in the international drug traffic. After the help of the USA rendered for the termination of drug traffic in the 1988 years and elections of the administration representing the interests of a business community in 1992, the Bahamas began to revive gradually. In 1999, the hurricanes, Dennis and Floyd, walked on islands, having destroyed houses, roads, reefs and resorts. By 2001, the damage was liquidated, and the Bahamas found appeal to tourists again. The Bahamas, the independent state of which political system the Westminster model is the cornerstone. On the form of government, the Bahamas are constitutional monarchy. The head of state is the Queen of Great Britain. She is officially represented by the Governor-General, who is appointed according to the recommendation of the Prime Minister in an office. By a structural criterion, the Bahamas, a parliamentary system. The legislature belongs to the two-chamber parliament consisting of chamber of a meeting which members get out on 5-year-old term on 38 single-candidate districts, and the Senate which 16 members are appointed the Governor-General. 9 according to the recommendation of the Prime Minister, 4 according to the recommendation of the Leader of Opposition. 3. According to the general recommendation of the Prime Minister and Leader of Opposition. The party leader, received the majority in chamber of a meeting, serves as the Prime Minister and the Chief Executive. The Prime Minister appoints members of the Cabinet from among the supporters in chamber of a meeting. The Chairman of the Supreme Court is appointed the Governor-General according to the recommendation of the Prime Minister and Leader of Opposition. Other judges are appointed according to the recommendation of the Judicial Commission. Is the highest court of appeal the Privy Council in London acts. By party criterion, the Bahamas are a multi-party system in which the left-centrist Progressive Liberal Party and the right-centrist Free National Movement dominate. On the last elections, which took place on May 10, 2017, from 38 places to the opposition Free National Movement got 34, the Progressive Liberal Party received 4 places. Other parties of seats in the lower house of Parliament didn't manage to receive. The Bahamas are the state with democratic political system. The Freedom House organization carries them to group of the free countries. In the rating of the incapacitated states of Bahamas take the 134th place. Group of the strong states. In the rating of the countries, free from corruption, they take 21 places. Group of the countries with the low level of corruption. Main officials. Elizabeth II is a queen. Since February 6, 1952. Marguerite Pindling is Governor-General. Since 2014. Hubert Minnis is Prime Minister. Since 2017. The Bahamas, the archipelago consisting approximately of 700 islands and coral reefs and occupying space over 250,000 km. The area of Sushi minus km. It is comparable with an area of Jamaica. Geographically, islands Turks and islands Caicos, on which the overseas territory of Great Britain is located. The Turks and Caicos Islands also are a part of the Bahamas. The population is generally concentrated on the islands of New Providence, where the state capital, Nassau, and Big Bagama is located. The largest island, Andres. The island of Bimini are located in only 80 km to the east from Florida. On Big Bagam, the second largest city of the archipelago, Freeport is located. The most southeast island, Great Anegua. Tacoma stands with his yellow flowers blossoms all the year round on the Bahamas. It is also a national symbol. The Bahamas are put by generally coral limestones lying at a depth about 1500 m. The flooded sites of underwater eminences represent the extensive shallow water abounding with coral reefs. The largest, the Big Bahamacan. The surface of islands flat karst forms of a relief are widespread. On the coast of islands there are beaches. The highest point of the archipelago is at Hill Alvernia atop, 63 meters above sea level. On the island of Ket. Climate of the Bahamas tropical, Pasitni, with plentiful rainfall in May, June and September, October. Average temperature of January, plus 21 C, July about plus 30 C. Quite frequent hurricanes fall upon islands from June to October. The rivers on the Bahamas are practically absent. It is a lot of salt lakes, which are reported with the sea. The vegetable cover is rather poor. Savannas or thickets of prickly evergreen bushes prevail. A significant area is occupied by pine forests. On the islands of Andros and Great Abaco listopadni and evergreen tropical forests grow. On the coasts, groves of coconut palms. The fauna is quite poor and presented generally by birds, mostly flying natatorial, and also iguanas, agate and bats. Sea waters are rich with fish, crustacea and mollusks. National Park on the island of Great Inagua, the largest congestion of a flamingo in the world. The island is the house for more than individuals. The agave, sisal, pineapple, orange tree, banana, tomato, sugarcane are cultivated. The largest islands, archipelagos, which are a part of the Bahamas. Now the state is divided into 31 areas, districts. This system was created in 1996 and up to 1999 there were 23 areas. Age and sex pyramid of the population of the Bahamas for 2020. Population minus May 2021. Annual gain minus 2301. 2021. Birth rate. On average 17 children a day. 0.70 in an hour. Mortality. On average 7 people a day. 0.27 in an hour. Migration increase in population. On average 6 people a day. 0.23 in an hour. Life expectancy minus 71.2 years. 68.8 men, 73.6 women. The number of male population minus 48. 9%. The number of female population minus 51.1%. 2021. Contamination, a virus of an immunodeficiency. HIV. Minus 3%. Assessment of 2007. Ethno-racial structure. 85% black and mulattoes, 12% white, 3% Asians and Latin Americans. State language English. Immigrants with Haiti use Haitian Creole language on the basis of French. Literacy minus 95.6%. 2003. The Bahamas, mainly Christian country. 92%. Atheists and non-believers make 5.7% of the population. In 2010 on the Bahamas there were 6.5 thousand spiritists. Most of them, especially on the southern and east islands, practice Obeah, the religion similar to the Voodoo. Immigrants with Haiti, Cuba, Dominican Republic and Jamaica are engaged in the Voodoo only. Among non-Christian groups it is also necessary to call belief of a Bakha. 1. 4,000. Judaism. 300 people. Hinduism. 100 people. The largest Christian groups are Baptists. 75,000. Catholics. 51,000. Pentecostals and Charismata. 43,000. Anglicans 27,000. Adventists 21,000. And Methodologists 16,000. The Bahamas, the developing state specializing in the international and tourist services. Tourism gives to islands over 60% of GDP. About a half of the busy population is directly or indirectly connected with travel business. Most of tourists arrive or come from the USA. GDP per capita in 2015 $. The 30th place in the world, between Spain and Bahrain. Agriculture 5% working. Citrus, vegetables, poultry. The industry 5% working. Production of cement, oil transportation, extraction of salt, production of rum, extraction of aragonite, pharmaceutical production. Travel business and banking -50% working. In other services sectors -40% working. The Act enters into the international organization of the countries. On the island of New Providence about 1,000 km of roadways. Part of them are in private possession. 209 km on Eleuthère, 156 km on Grand Bahama and more than 885 km on external islands. Nassau, New Providence, Freeport, Big Baidama, and Matthew Town. Anagua, the main ports of the Bahamas. The mail vessel from Nassau several times a week goes to external islands. Main airports of the state. The International Airport of Linden-Pindlinga, the largest airport of the Bahamas and the biggest international airport of the country, is located in the west of the island of New Providence in 16 km from Nassau, and the International Airport of Freeport located in 5 km from the city. Besides, on other islands 60 more airports and runways are located. On the Bahamas there are no state restrictions in the field of the press and radio, or television broadcasting. The state interacts with the only telebroadcasting organization, Z's Bahamas, which is financed by Telebroadcasting Corporation 2 Bubs. WAC. Widely well cable television. LAC also manages Radio 2 Bugs, the main state radio station. Daily newspapers: the Bahama Journal, Freeport News, Freeport News, Nassau the Guardian, the Nassau Guardian, and the Tribune. The Punch is issued 2 times a week, and there are some more weekly newspapers. The Bahamas Tourist News and the magazine What's on Leave once a month. The international issues of these editions are also available. According to 2007, internet users on the Bahamas were 362 persons for 1,000. Compulsory education on the Bahamas is limited for 12 years and begins with 5-year age. The ratio on transfer makes 88% for elementary schools and 84% for averages. 2006. A ratio of number of pupils to teachers about 15, 1 in initial and 13, 1 at high school. 2006. Academic year begins in September. College of the Bahamas. The College of the Bahamas. The main higher educational institution of the country. In 1998, the Eugene Depuch Law School on the basis of the University of West Indies was open. Similar curricula and programs are offered at schools Manly Law School and Wooding Law School is right. Students can also go to the University of West Indies, which has branches to Nassau and campuses in Jamaica, Barbados and in Trinidad and Tobago. The highest technical and professional educational institutions and private colleges provide training of specialists on the following disciplines: divinity, secretarial skills, accounting and computer equipment. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.